and we got a surprise guest. So we're going to head into this thing here. Those of you that don't know me, I'm Gringo, and that's what you can call me. I don't really need to be called Chuck Little. I'd rather be called Gringo. And that's my resume up there. It's been up there for a while, and if you're a curious person, you probably read it. And if you didn't read it, you're going to miss out. So, our goal, you becoming what we believe you can be, and us accepting and respecting you as you. Our job here is to instill some kind of a boldness and a courage to do well. A mindset where you learn that hard and smart work is fun, and you find out that when you reach a certain skill set at each level, it's your mindset that's going to take you where you want to go. I think it's got to be fun, but I also feel that you have to learn that hard work is fun. Hard work is fun. And you got to learn to laugh your way through it. We have people that train here for 9 weeks, and they always have a smile on their face. I've yet to see one of those kids without a smile on their face. They're here for 9 weeks in the summer. And they're some of our better players for the age group, right? I'm a traditionalist. You got baby boomers, you got Generation X, and all the new people here, the millennials. You got the text message, you got the social media, and the truth of the matter is, you're able to leave this room immediately after I'm done and laugh this talk off and say it was okay. That's your business. It's my job to do a decent job. If I do, fine. If I don't, that's my fault. Bottom line, players are bigger, they're quicker, they're stronger, faster, smarter, and you're probably more than likely to try and second guess what we do. And we don't mind that. As long as we show a passion and a caring level and a try level for what we do we care about your career? If we didn't, we wouldn't be doing this for over 40 summers. Most people will not give up their summer to work with kids. I mean, why would they? Summers when the sun's shining, you're on the lake, you're having a ball. How can you go spend 63 days in a row with a bunch of kids, right? And the reason we do it, out of that group of kids, there's always more great ones than there are those that slip. Got a new sign up I put this week, right above the water cooler. Life is all about choices. When you're going to hit a fork in the road, you better pick the right choice. It's going to happen. It's going to happen again and again and again. It's going to be your call. It's not going to be the call of your parents. It's going to be your call. You will need to make that choice. Years ago, when I worked with the New York Rangers, we couldn't figure out why 50% of the first round picks did not play in the NHL. And that's a sorry thing, because obviously they wouldn't have been picked in the first round if they were not skillful enough, if they weren't able to perform. So for some reason, they failed. All right? Now what is the reason? We got to find that out. We have to find that out. And it has more to do with the mindset, because every one of them reached a skill level to play in the NHL. And all of a sudden they aren't playing. And so it becomes a mindset. Now the mindset doesn't necessarily have to mean they're a bad person. It certainly doesn't. It could have something to do with skill to fit in, skill to express your skill to figure it out when things aren't going your way. Anyway, we put together this little template back in the early 80s, and it seems to work if you use it. If you don't use it, obviously, it's not going to work. All right? Number one word for me is authenticity. And you can read about it on the internet, or put it on the internet, on our website, something pure and good. It's people that are ordinary, fun, they have purpose, they have reason, they got substance, They don't have an agenda. They don't have an agenda. They're just really natural people. And they're ordinary and fun. And they take life very serious. There comes a time when your life becomes a business. Now, when does it become a business? Most often it becomes a business when you start to do something good on the ice sheet or something good in the classroom. Because you get real serious about what you're doing. So now your life's a bit of a business. And young athletes, I think, become more of a business in their life than a regular student. I think a musician would be the same way. You're going to be more of a business. And yet every single week here, we see people fall by the wayside. We see people not get it done. We see people slip. It's hard to work here, for instance. We're on our 7th week. So these guys have been grinding it out, the gals have been grinding it out. It's easy to slip. We need to have our best 3 weeks right now. We need to be better than the week before. Going to skip through some of this. You got emotional stability, where people are in the face telling you what you don't want to hear. I like people like that. If I could pick a person that I'd want to teach any one of my kids, it would be a person that was able to tell my son or daughter what they don't want to hear. And a lot of times you have trouble accepting that. As soon as you fail to accept what someone's trying to tell you, you just killed the biggest learning situation you could possibly have. You just destroyed it. Some of the older players, someone's critiquing you, you go on the defensive. Right? Well, yeah, but something like that. And you just kill a learning situation when you do that. Why not listen? Then go get it done. And when you see what other people see in you, that's when you're on the right path. You need to get to know yourself. You need to want to make a better version of yourself. If things aren't going well, you don't have a clear head, your feet and your hands and your mind do not work right. Well, you can laugh it off. I've seen that happen when things go wrong. They laugh it off. Oh, I'm sorry. Better not be laughing at it. There better be some remorse. If there's no remorse, you better get up real early in the morning and take a look in the mirror and check yourself out. Because that's the way life works. They say there's burnout when you go to a place like this because it's so hard. There is no burnout. There are players here for 9 weeks, 0 burnout. All they've done is get better. Now, who burns out? People that face scrutiny, humiliation, ridicule, and boring practices. That'll kill you, all right? Best advice you can give a young person, do something out of the ordinary and people will remember you. It's easy to get up every day and do something out of the ordinary. It's not a hard thing to do. So just keep that in your mind. It's human nature to get up in the morning and be who you are. How do you get up every morning to be more than who you are? Because you're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling anybody. Especially in a place like this. We can stand up there, we can stand out on the deck, we can tell you more things about kids here than you ever believe. It's amazing. We can tell the way you walk. Some got a little life in their step, others are just dragging. You tell the way you talk, tell the way you look. It's all opinion stuff, all right? We want you to think big, we want you to believe big, keep the rink big, play big, and bigger things happen. A lot of parents send their kids here with the hope of building character. They say, well, I'm going to send my kids to a tough camp. It's going to build their character. No, it won't. It won't build your character. We're going to expose your character. We're going to expose every bit of it. And we'll do it with frequency. And you have to decide whether you want to build your character. Only you get to decide that. No one can help you. You can have the best parents in the world, and that can't help you. It helps to the point where, yeah, they care, yeah, they'll give you a lot of opportunity. The thing I question about kids that get opportunity, it's really simple with me. What are you doing to reciprocate? What are you doing to make your parents proud? They spend money to send you to camp. What are you doing when they're taking care of you? That's a big question mark for me. And that's what I want to know. Physical fitness, your body is your only asset. The booze, the bullying, the drugs, harassment, tobacco, you're talking about jail, mental health, and death. That's what you're talking about. And I'm not going to spend any time on it. For me, it's a given. It's an absolute given. Years ago, when I broke into coaching, that's a lot of years ago, I spent 80% of my time with the 20% that had problems. I spent all this time with some kid who had all these problems. Put in all these adult hours when I could be helping somebody. Alright? So I changed my mind. I said, okay, I'm going to work with the 80% that want to be somebody. And then if the other 20 want to jump in and join us, you're more than welcome. We'll leave the door open. We'll leave the door open for you to come back in. But we really don't want you in our life until you come back in. But remember, the door is open. All right? We got a 5-dot drill. I mentioned how when you get up in the morning, you do one thing at a time. The 5-dot drill right there. Some people do a 2-2-2, some do a 2-1-2, 2 left 2, 2 right 2, 2 right 2, jump here, turn around. The more things you do on that, the more things you do in these drills, as we set up the gym, the quicker your mind has to move. And any good hockey player or athlete is a very split-second thinker. And that's one way of getting rated. How fast does your mind move? One of the best I've ever seen in my whole life is T.J. Ocean. His mind moves as fast as things. And one of the neat things about him is I could go to a game as a scout, and almost every game I watched him play, I saw something he never showed before. How cool is that? That's pretty good stuff. But there's every single level. Again, you want to get that mind going, you want to keep your feet going, you want to keep your hands going. Someone tells you got to keep your feet going. Well, to me it's simple. It's hands, feet, and head. All moving, all the time. You got your head on the swivel, you know what's going on around you. All the great athletes, they know everything that's going on around them, whether they're on the ice or off the ice. Everything. And if you aren't studying great athletes, you're probably not planning on being very good. So I want to encourage you to study greatness. And I think greatness, I would never compare a great with a great. With a great. You pick the best one in the NHL. Why? They're all great. All the great players are great. They stand on their own merit. Let them all be on the top pedestal. See all the good in your teammates, be a detailed person, one who cares about others, for any personal gains. Again, the skill to fit into the group requires the skill to step out of ourselves and bring others into our life. Every player on your team brings something to the mix. Respect them for it. Adult relationships, we probably would think that you can become more than you think. In other words, we believe you can become more than you think you can become. And why? Because we've seen someone just like you along the way. So we can do some comparables. And oftentimes I think you set your sights too low. So keep your aspirations high, and you can always back off. Years ago, you were a suckable or a brown nose if you got along with a coach. I want to tell you that if I had it all to do over again, the first person I would form a relationship with would be my coach. Because they are some of the people you're going to remember the rest of your life. So you might as well have a good personal relationship. They can help you get jobs. They can help you get where you want to go. it's pretty hard for your parents to write a recommendation for you. So it's good to know 3 to 6 people out of your immediate life, immediate family, so you can get some help, all right? 3 to 6 mentors. Ego. You always hear about it, they say, you got a big ego. I want you to have a big ego, but an ego filled with pride, not arrogance. There's a big difference. Interdependency, we talked about 12 by 12 by 12. When you're born, you're dependent. Parents are doing everything for you. Now you reach the age, and a lot of you in the room right now, and you're in the independent stage where you're going to change your looks, you're going to change the way you talk, change the way you walk. Believe me, I want you to study others, study greatness, and then walk the right path. Take the right fork in the road. Our goal, we just want to play a role in your life. And I can assure you, this camp has played a huge role in a lot of lives. A lot of lives. Thousands of lives. And not just those on the ball. Those are hockey players. There's all kinds of productive citizens that have been here. We can fill these walls with 8 by 10 pictures. And that's our net worth. Our net worth is how many pictures we can put up. It's not the money. It's the place and the culture. Qualities that make it hard to play against. The aggressive, courage, toughness, use of size, one-on-one, loose pucks, back check, forward check, takeouts, detail guide, goes on and on. Containment, face-offs, come to play. Every one of those are they're a story in itself. And that's how much you got to study the game. They're a story in itself. Every one of them. And this talk would take about 1 hour and 40 minutes if we were to cover all of this. Just remember, each player has one or more special assets. You can see it, you can feel it, it moves right through the team. And there they are. Loose pucks, to me, is a special one because there's a puck laying here. Everybody on the rink, everybody in the rink sees it. 1 of 2 people win it. So if you aren't winning your share of loose pucks, probably not going to play very long. And a lot of times, one of the biggest things is this is going to happen to you. It's happened to me in the NHL. I don't know how many times. They call a player in and they say, "What do you got to do? What do you got to improve on?" Almost every single player in the NHL says, "I think I have to be more physical." And I think that's fine that they have to be more physical. But what bothers me is how do you become more physical? I'm not talking about putting people through the glass. What we're talking about here, we're talking about leverage. Talking about leverage. He's a lot smaller than me. His left shoulder goes ahead of my right shoulder. He goes ahead of me. My hands go to the boards. He's got the puck. I have to do something to get that puck. Either hook him, hold him, knock him down or something. He'll just learn the leverage. Learn how to control the body. When you learn how to control a person's body, you start to play with their mind. You start to play with their mind, and you're going to win the game. And nothing bothers a great player more than you rendering them helpless. In other words, some little guy comes up on me, takes my hands and boards, I'm helpless. Nothing bothers a player more than that. You get me into the boards, I'm probably going to take your number, and I'm going to get you back. It's not a big deal. I'll take your number, I'm not going to retaliate, but I will make sure that I pay that one back. But it's really hard for me to pay back when you frustrate me. So you control my mind, and I'm in trouble. Alright? Goaltenders are your extension of the coaches. All we've ever said to goalies, you make your first save with your mind, and your second save with your athletic ability. We have a goaltender handout, and you'll be getting that. So there's some things in here that we'll skip over, but I think if you want to talk about NHL assets for a goalie, hockey sense, your head, your heart, athleticism, conditioning, and skill. What does a goalie bring to a team that is really valuable? They get rid of all negatives right now. They let out that goal, you forget about it right now. So let's say you make a mistake or do something off ice or on ice, don't make any difference. You better purge it. Better let it sink in, but you better purge it. You better get on with what's right. All right? Technical aspects of the game, you'll get it all down the ice. Skating technique, eyes, shot. If you don't have a good shot, that's your fault. You don't need ice. There's a shooting range out here. Shoot all the pucks you want. Every day at home. Doesn't make a difference. Body language to me is big. I like greed. I like good greed. Hey, if it's time to shoot, shoot. Shoot and score. But when it's time to pass smartly, shoot smartly, carry the puck only out of necessity. Have a good grip, only one way to hold a stick. Top hand tight, bottom hand loose. Your mind only likes to do one thing at once. So if you got the top hand tight, the bottom hand's going to be tight. Puck hits your stick, it bounces off. You're going along like this, top hand tight, bottom hand loose. Keep your feet moving to catch the puck. But when you're catching the puck, your feet stop. Now you go about why? Because your mind is lazy. You have to program your mind to do multiple things at a time. And it'll do it. The mind will do anything you want it to do. It's got a huge, huge capacity. All right? One of the things that we like to teach here is there's 4 muscle groups. There's a muscle group for jumping, sprinting, lifting, and skating. We do that all in one day, and so all those muscle groups grow together. And that's one of the reasons we've had some success here. All right? Tactical aspects of the game. There are just a certain amount of critical moments in a hockey game. Each one of you will have a critical moment in a hockey game. Maybe you'll have 6. You're not going to have much more than that because they've tested players on the ice and those who handle the puck, the great ones, probably around 20, 30 seconds. So you're not going to have that many critical moments, but when you do have one, you better get it done. You got the rink wet to keep the rink big. You got gray areas where the coach don't like you making mistakes, like from the top of the circle to the outside the blues. You got defensive play, special teams, creativity, all of those things. You have to study them. You got to study the game. What's not up here that you should study is the history of the game. If you don't know the history of the game, you hurt yourself. Study the history of the game. Hockey is nothing more than 3 games in one. An offensive game, defensive game, and a game that makes you hard to play again. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Your team gets a puck. The guy with the puck says, "I'm going to give it to you." Or without the puck, the tape better have a clear path to the puck or they're not going to play. So now you lose the puck. The person close to the puck gets on as quick as he can. Everyone else picks up the check. That gets pretty simple. The hard part to learn is the game when you're hard to play against. All of this gets exposed here. All right? You need to, I don't care what it is, it's going to get exposed. You need to focus in. You need to measure. You need to stay curious. All the great athletes are very curious. You don't let people box you in. You get rid of all blind spots. We'll cover that a little bit. Learn to listen. Learn to critique yourself positively. Get on a mission with a mindset and dare to dream. All right? This Johari window, it's a little complicated for the young kids, but they use this in alcoholism. Right? There are things you know about yourself, other people know it, you don't have a problem. There are things you know about yourself, maybe you goofed up a little bit, no one else knows about it, you're never going to know it. There's a subconscious mind where that is the end result of the other 3, but the one that kills you is the unknown, is the blind spot, all right? The blind spots, there's 12 people. If all these people up top are watching you play, every one of them would see the way you play. If you don't see the same thing they see, you got some blind spot. And the same with your off ice. If you got a problem off ice and you don't see it, I'm sorry, you got a blind spot. You got a problem on ice, you don't see it, you got a blind spot. Because everyone else sees it. That's how simple it is. And all of that affects the subconscious mind. What happens then? Okay, it's a problem. So now your feet don't work, your hands don't work, your mind don't work. You're looking for all the reasons why things aren't going well for you. Right? Do that, you become a complete player, complete person, complete practice, complete performance, and then you overachieve in your asset categories. Whatever your assets are, you overachieve at it, and everyone will copy what you do. The human mind will copy everything good about you. It's probably going to throw out everything bad about you. We have our own player profile, put it on the internet, right? All this gets exposed every day at the hockey camp, right? It all gets exposed in you. And for some, it probably doesn't sit too well with you, but that's too bad. That's just the way life works, all right? So you got the, we'll test you here, a little quiz. You guys think of everything that maybe was set up here, and you just tell me, if we start with, say the foundation of the person, what are they?
Mental toughness.
Ego. Physical fitness.
Ethics.
Yeah? Huh? There's a few left out there, all right? How about things that make it hard to play against?
Face off.
One-on-one. Net play.
Headman puck.
Courage.
Size.
All right, how about the technical levels?
Dot.
Agility.
Puck control.
Grip.
How about eyes? I love eyes. All right, how about the tactical level?
Innovation.
Better play it.
Right foot.
Creativity.
All right. All right, you get all that straightened out, you focus in, become a complete player, do all that, you might win a cup, get a ring. For those of you, the young kids that are here, we brought the ring with us, and those of you who want to take a picture with it or do something with it, you're more than welcome. So now I'm going to turn it over to Dino here. He's going to go over some of the things he feels important. I think it's called Gringo, right? Not that. I'm Dean Grillo, one of the owners of the camp. I've been camp mascot to camper to coach to now helping out my brothers and mom and dad. And wintertime, I got a partner, business partner in O2K management, worldwide management, sports management, representing hockey players. Some guys are starting to come around, the younger guys. Older guys start trickling in next week, so it becomes special for me around here too. Older guys start coming in, see a few of the Hartsey shirts and the Oshie shirts and different guys. So I just want to hit on a few rules and regs for you guys. Some of you guys have been here multiple years. Obviously things have changed a little bit this year for the guys that have been here and they think they know the routine a little bit. Testing is now all done today. You guys got that schedule. Follow it because Kevin sets it up pretty smooth here, and all of the workers, they get it all done today. So it takes a little bit of that, maybe that standing around Monday where you can get after it. Okay, everything gets done today. The food, we'll just go through the things. You've got, for the guys that haven't been here, big white building right behind us. It's where all the dinners, breakfast, lunch, dinner. The only thing I ask, you guys all got the schedules today and the rest of the week. Follow the times like a train, all right? Because they get kind of tight. And there's getting to be more and more players here, and they know the number of players that are coming through. And just make sure you don't bump out, or maybe the old guys are coming and the young kids are still trying to get their food, all right? Make sure you let them get through, get there when it's your time, all right? As far as outside food, parents that are here or kids that are going to ask, it's all going to come to my wife's office. And I'm just going to tell you right now, more than likely you're not going to end up with it because she's going to sort through it. And
with all the allergies and peanut allergies and everything that goes around today's world, she's probably going to intercept it and your kids aren't going to see it anyway, okay? Kevin will probably snack on it a little bit when he gets hungry. But I just recommend don't send anything because it's going to get intercepted, all right? There's all the vans for the rink for the new guys. They're going to leave one of 3 places, usually right out. You'll see them right out front, especially tonight. You're going to pull one up with a trailer. You're going to get all your gear down to the rink. Leave it in the locker room. Each group will have their locker room space. That's your locker room. If you're in locker room 6, don't go to locker room 5. Don't go to locker room 1. Everyone's got enough space. You'll leave it there for the week. Guys that are here multiple weeks, we get the stuff out, we move it to another room for a day, and then we get reset. All right? Counselors will help you with that. Curfews, dorm guys probably canter again. You're in the dorms, you'll have a meeting at 9 o'clock tonight. He'll let you guys know your rules. All right? There's a gate out on the front of the building out here. Our head counselor locks it at a certain time every night, 9:30-ish. I think it gets locked, so you know, just abide by the rules. All right. If you're going to check out, let people in the pro shop know, let the counselors know, let your coach know. You know, kids rollerblade once in a while to town. That's fine. You just got to be a certain age to do it. And let people know. All right. Cooks, maids, and we got maintenance guys, kind of put them all in the same category. Respect them. They're working hard. All right, don't go blasting through the food line and start giving the guy a hard time. Okay, he's working extremely hard, 220 meals a day, whatever it is for each session. All right, maids the same thing. Okay, keep your own area clean just like you're at home. They'll come by and clean it up if needed. They shouldn't really have to, but hopefully, but let's make sure it gets clean. All right, keep your stuff clean. And then as far as the maintenance guys, something pops up, could be anything. Come see Lloyd in the main office, myself, my wife, my mom. We're always up there, one of us. Okay, let us know. We'll get one of those guys on it. All right. In the last few years, we've had unbelievable interns. Started with Hartnell down. They come and do both stuff for my wife, Carrie. And they do an unbelievable job here for the parents, or kids want to tell your parents. This is live right now, I think, on YouTube channel they got now. Then you've got some live dry lands, live weight rooms, photos galore on our Facebook page, on Twitter. You know, I've heard great things from lots of parents. And they almost, just on pictures alone, they know what their kids are doing every second of the day. All right, trainers. Some of you had to leave some stuff with the trainers. This is the training room right here for the new guys. All right, there's a whole bunch of them, 3, 4 of them. Okay, they're always at the rink. And there's always one here. So if you get dinged up or you need to get your ankle taped, whatever it is, go see them. If it's something more serious, they'll let the coaches know. They'll let counselors know. And we'll take it from there. Okay, but make sure you always see them first. If you have to see them in the mornings or at night, whatever it is, you know, they'll probably hunt you down if they have to, but they shouldn't have to. All right. Money. Most of you put it in your accounts. I wouldn't try to sneak your $40 and leave it in your wallet. I just highly recommend it. Get it in your account. You can always go over to the pro shop and take out $5 if you need to get your skate sharpened. If you need to get whatever you need, okay? But just don't leave it around. It's not, you know, you leave it on your desk or your dresser in the A-frame. It's not, you know, locked all the time. Obviously, it's an open area. Just don't tempt anyone. I just leave it in the account. When you need it, grab it. All right? Housing. All right? It's getting busy here. We try to accommodate everybody. But if you're not in the A-frame, stay out of the A-frames. If you're not in the red house, stay out of the red house. If you young guys are in the dorms, okay, old guys stay out, young guys stay out of their stuff, all right? Makes it a lot simpler. Groups, all right? We work on it every day, guys, all right? It's a never-ending thing here. You know, Lloyd's already up there. I hardly know him, looking at him, and, you know, people are already calling, all right? My brother's been with San Jose since 1991. My dad was a scout for 40 years. Myself in the game, Lloyd's in the game. We will get them right. Give us time. Most of you we don't know, some of you we do. We never leave here going, we're going to take, you know, Drew, because I know him, and we're going to leave him down here just to make him mad. It's never been like that here. Okay? So we will get it straight. Give us time. All right? It's not going to be perfect for everyone, but we will get it straight. All right? I think that's about it for me, Kev. Let's have a good week. All right? Some of you are new, start in 2-3 weeks. Let's have some fun. Like Gringo said, training's fun. If it's not, you know, you're probably doing it for the wrong reason.
How's it going, guys? Jeez, you guys just sound like you just woke up. How you guys doing? That's better. Hey, for people who do not know me, I am Coach Kevin. I'm your head strength and conditioning coach here at Minnesota Hockey Camps. Okay, I have 2 other strength coaches, Jolene and Matt Steggy over there. You will see us a lot. Okay, you'll be in here twice a day. Okay, during your dry land and your weights time. We split this weight room down the middle. The green side and over here is during our dry land time. Everything back this way is your weight time. Okay, so we'll be seeing each other a lot. Okay? Now, one thing I'm going to say right away, I am terrible with names. But I know your face. Okay, I know your face because you're wearing a St. Thomas shirt. Work on that. Okay, I know your face, I know your face. A lot of you I've seen before. Okay, I'll never forget a face. Okay, we talked about exposing character. Okay, now, when you leave here, you will get a label. Okay, I don't forget a face. I know Matt Donald has been here forever. I know his work ethic. Okay, every player that comes in here, you're going to get a label from me, from Gringo, from Dino. Okay, the way you work in here is going to make your label good or bad. It's your choice. All right, just letting you know right now, this camp is tough. What we do in this weight room is extremely, extremely tough. All right, we're going to find out what you're made of. Okay, couple things that we're going to go over in our weight room. Underneath our big garage door, on the ground, there's a big blue line. Spray painted on the ground. Okay, what that is whether you're on the hockey rink or in here, when you cross that blue line, it's time to go to work. Offensive or defensive zone, it's time to go to work. Trying to get the puck out or trying to score. Okay, it's hard work. Same thing applies in here. That's why we put it in. All right. Now, on this whiteboard back here, 100 daily shots. Okay, we split that down the middle. On the left side says 100 daily shots. On our shooting range, if you shoot 100 daily pucks, okay, for 5 days straight, come up to me, come up to Steggy, come up to Jolene, come up to your counselor, say, hey coach, get my 500 shots in. We will write your name up there. Okay, this is totally optional. You don't have to do it, but why do we do this? Okay, if you get your name up there, why do we do this? Why do we do this? That is true, yep. Why else do we do this? Bragging rights, absolutely. Okay, we're hockey players. We like to say I'm better than you. Okay, St. John's is better than St. Thomas, right? Bragging rights. I'm better than you, and I know it. You know why? Because my name's up on that list, and yours isn't. Okay? I went above and beyond what I was asked to do. Okay, on the other side of that, it says SNS Weekly Champ. Okay, that's a shooting and stick handling competition that we do on Fridays within your group. Okay, one winner from each group that finishes the fastest will get their name up there. Okay, why do we do this? What? Bragging rights, absolutely. Okay, I'm better than you, and I know it because I'm up there, and you're not. Okay, now moving on to our next whiteboard. The whiteboard that's completely blank over there, except for the bottom. Okay, during your weight room time, whatever we're doing in the weight room time will be up there. Whether that's a lift, whether that's a med ball workout, whether that's a plate workout, or a beach circuit. Okay, it'll be up there. Okay, so you know what you're doing in weights. The next whiteboard, the one with all the little squares on it. Okay, that's our tops board with all of our testing on it. Okay, has every test that we do, that you'll do today on Sunday and on Wednesday. Okay, with every age group, we find out who has the best scores for each test. Why do we have that? Bragging rights. Okay, and to see how you match up against your peers. Okay, in your age group. Okay, going all the way over here, we have these quotes on the wall, the big red boxes. Okay, since 2001, we've had a quote of the summer. Okay, Matt Donnelly, what does the quote say this year? This? Those who stay will be champions. What does that mean? What do you think that means? So those people who work hard will become the best. It's very accurate, pretty close. Okay, what I meant by that was those who stay on a path. You all have a goal to make it to the NHL, make it to whatever. Whatever your goal in life is, you just stay that path. Okay, those who stay on that path will be champions. Whether that's hockey, basketball, school, life. Okay, you will be a champion. Okay, stay on that path. Gringo talked about that piece of wood. You got two choices. If you stray off that path and you get right back on it, you can become a champion. Okay? Now, we need to talk about being on time. Okay, sometimes we'll go a couple minutes early. We warm up a couple minutes early. Be on time. Okay? Also, our weight room staff is cleaning all the time. Okay, we need to make this area very, very clean. That's no food, that's no sticks, no rollerblades, nothing. Skates, I've seen a few skates in here. Don't bring your skates in here. Okay, any little wrapper that gets left here, we have to pick it up. Okay, we've been doing it for a long time now, and it's starting to get a little old, but guess what? You guys have to take responsibility. You guys are all old enough. Even Gage over here picks up the stuff, right, Gage? That's right. Okay, just pick up after yourself, not too hard. Okay, make sure that you don't forget your backpack in here. All right. Now, Kennedy will be coming up here. We have a deaf cook, so she'll go over some sign language stuff to communicate with our deaf cook. Let's have a great week.
Okay, so like you said, one of our cooks is deaf. His name is Jeremy. You'll see him around. He's often in the back. But if he is serving you food, there's a couple things you can do to just acknowledge his presence. So the first thing we're going to learn is the basic how to say thank you. You go like this and you go like that. So everyone, thank you. Don't make a duck face and do this because it means something entirely different. And he might not like it. Alright, so don't do that, but thank you. If he's serving you and you want to say please, you just go like this. So always sign with your right hand and just in circular motion, and that is please. So now we have thank you and we have please. If you want to get a little more complicated, you can say good food. So it's going to be good. So you do your thank you, but you catch it. It's good, and then food. It's like you're eating. So, good food. And you can say that to him if you want. And if you want to learn anything else, you can come see me later, and I will teach you more. But that's all I have for you guys. So, one more time, we have thank you, we have please, and we have good food. Awesome. That's all I got.
All right, that's it. Anybody who wants to, like I said, get with the ring here, I got a ring here.
Group A,
Everybody else
got
ready to go.
15 minutes. Group A. Bags out front, hands will be leaving. Group A.
Hey, need you to get 2 minutes, need you to get rock and roll.
Yep.
Um,
Good. Stop.